Rev up your engines!
ST32003 says, Scotty, what do you think if I get a used Fiat 2013 500 Abarth with low mileage as a secondary fun car? I know FCA products have lousy reliability, and that's the truth. Well, here's the thing. They're cute little cars to fiddle around with. You know, they've got, they don't have the stupid Fiat engine. They've got the Alfa Romeo engine, which is a better made engine. But it's Italian technology, too. If you can get it cheap enough for a toy, why not? They have no resale value, believe me. So if you can pick one up for $2, $3, $4 grand and you want to fiddle around with it, go ahead. It could be a fun toy, you know, if it really has low mileage. What the heck? Just don't drive it every day, you know? It could be a fun little toy. And take advantage of some fool buying a new one. If you can get it cheap enough, go ahead and buy it. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't drive it every day. And if it's a secondary fun car, why not? Nelson Rodriguez says, Scotty, I got a 95 Chevy Blazer with 80,000 miles. This is a good purchase. Okay, it depends on what you paid. I'm not a GM fan, but back in 1995, they were building better. They were stronger. The transmissions were better. And if it's in good shape and you didn't pay much for it, it can still last a long time. Just realize, of course, it's a 95, so what are you talking about? You're talking about a 24-year-old vehicle. Generally, with 24-year-old vehicles, something's going to go wrong, and you're going to have to repair stuff. So, you know, if you didn't pay that much, it could still last a long time if it really only has 80,000 miles. You know, a lot of guys, heck, they'll go to a junkyard and they'll just buy a used dash for $50 that has lower mileage and throw it in so you don't know. You'd want some proof that it really only had that much mileage on it. Next year says, please help me, Mr. Scotty. I have a 98 Proton Sega Ishwara. Are red coolants better than green coolants? Okay, first thing you got to realize, the color of your coolant is just a dye. They don't have any color. It's a dye that gives them a certain color. And they can dye them any color they want. Now, classically, when I was young, in the 60s, all they had was green coolant, and it was the old-fashioned coolant that didn't last that long. You had to change it every 3 years. It didn't work as well, but now there's long life coolants, which you can put in any cars. And they can last 7 years, 150,000 miles. So if yours came with red, that's probably the long life coolant. So when you change it with the same type of long life coolant. They're called OAT, Organic Acid Technology. And the really good one are called HOATs, H-O-A-T, which is hybrid acid organic technology, and they last the longest. And as long as you flush out your old coolant, you can use any of the new ones. The HOAT is the best. It costs a lot more. And the OATs can still last for 5 years or 100,000 miles. So the color doesn't really mean anything. It's the type that it is, because it's just a dye. Robert Lovedog says, good morning, Scotty. I got a 90 Ford Ranger, put brand new tires all the way around, and brand new brakes. The tires are 4 years old. Do you think it could be the tires because it slides now? Okay. Well, you said you had brand new tires all the way around. Now you're saying they're 4 years old. Well, I'm assuming they're 4 years old now. If it slides, the only reason cars generally slide is because the tires are worn, and if they're cheaper tires, they'll slide real fast. I had that problem with these cheap Korean tires that came on my wife's Matrix when I bought it secondhand. They look great. They had 95% of the tread wear on them, but they were just cheap Korean tires, and they would slide because they didn't grip right. They were actually too hard. Too soft tires will wear out faster, but they grip better. Well, the opposite, the really cheap tires, are too hard, and then they don't grip and they slide. So odds are it's the tires. The only other way you can get sliding is if your suspension is so bad, the alignment's bad, and the tires are sitting wrong because one side's at an angle, yeah, they'll slide that. But normally, it's the tires that make them slide. Daniel Gerardo says, Scotty, my tie rod's broken. Should I fix it now? Can I leave it for a while? Definitely you want to fix it now. Tie rods will pull your tire in and out when you're driving. You don't want it. And watch my video on fixing a tie rod. Anybody can put them on. You can go to AutoZone and get an aftermarket tie rod for most cars for like $20 to $25. And they're solid metal. They're well made. The video shows you how you can change it yourself. And then if the alignment isn't bad now, when you take it off, there's threaded rods. You count the threads. And then when you screw the new one in, you screw it in the same threads. And then if it doesn't track right, you take it to a front end shop and say, look, I put a tie rod on. Align the front end, and they'll align the front end for you. So it's something you can easily do yourself. Don't chance it, because if a tie rod breaks off, the wheel can just turn of its own. You can be killed on the highway. You don't want to go with a broken tie rod for very long. And you don't want, I mean, so one guy, he welded a tie rod on once. You don't want to just try welding them on. Just get another one. They aren't that expensive.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.